Saturday night, September 25th. Extreme Rules is tomorrow. So let's get it. Wait a minute. There's only one match that's literally Extreme Rules. Uh, Whatever. Hello, everybody. NoDQGalaxy galore, new and old, and wrestling fans here for the first time or once again on demand. I am once again the Simple Man here with you from the NoDQGalaxy predictions panel. Tonight, it will be a simple two-person panel. With me, of course, is one of my great friends in NoDQGalaxy. He still needs to come up with an intro and a nickname, in my opinion, Mr. Christopher Rotz. Chris, how are you this evening? And I gotta be honest with you, brother. We kind of talked about it in our post show. This feels like Extreme Rules to me, but give me your thoughts and outlook towards tomorrow's night's pay-per-view.
Well, tomorrow's going to be a good pay-per-view. If I have to give like a rating on like a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this a solid 7. Tomorrow, there's only one match that is a stipulation match, and the rest is nothing. So I personally believe this is gonna be a good show no matter what, but there's only one match that's extreme and the rest are blow-offs.
Well, you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Sad Price is Right horn. That being said, we're going to try and engage in some sort of excitement because I'm sure we'll have more to talk about because we might talk a little more than just this pay-per-view, folks. But again, your opinions and predictions matter too. So if you haven't already, please follow me on Twitter at nfoster1916 and join the NoDQGalaxy Predictions League. The forum will be live not only after this panel, but it'll also be live shortly after the official NoDQGalaxy panel occurring tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be a part of that too. That being said, yeah, it's a pretty darn short show here. We have literally 6 matches, and only one of them is anything outside the normal. And ironically, the rest are literally mostly repeats. But let's see what we can do to engage maybe in a story outlook that will make these engaging to us, maybe not during, but afterwards, if nothing else. Considering this is the last period before the WWE draft, and stay tuned, folks. We'll have thoughts regarding that as well. Shout out to those that are watching. Hello, Gabrielle Watson. Thank you for following my channel. Please like, share, and tell your friends. I always welcome people to engage in this forum here. And if you all ever want to be part of the NoDQGalaxy predictions panel, it's not just the 4 horsemen that are NoDQ. You can be too. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. Love to get your opinions and outlook too. That being said, let's go ahead and have some fun with this, shall we? Let's start with a match that I feel is going to be an opener and should be fun. Yes, it's a rematch, but when it comes to the WWE, they seem to always open with the tag teams. As the Bloodlines, the Usos, the Ones, they once again defend the gold against the ones that want the smoke, the Street Profits. As we know, last time when these teams were battling it out in tag team title action, it was Roman Reigns that protected the Bloodline and the identity of the family, involving himself in the match and basically getting it thrown out. Now we see Montez Ford literally step up to the Tribal Chief, and he's paid for it. After the segment on SmackDown last night where the Demon confronted the Bloodline and got the better of the Tribal Chief in the end, could we say momentum maybe slightly favors from a psychological standpoint the challengers, or do the Usos at the end of the day, they just stay on point and it's just another simple win? Again, the Usos, the best tag team in WWE, bar none. I think this is going to be a fun match, but there's one thing I know about the WWE, you don't bet against the family, the Bloodline. I have the Usos retaining, simple as that. Rots, your thoughts on this match and who you got?
My thoughts is this is going to be, I personally believe this match is going to steal the show tomorrow night. I have no doubt in my mind. I'm a huge fan of the Usos. I love the Street Profits. The Street Profits, they come up with the best stuff imaginable. When Montez Ford picked up a baby on Monday Night Raw that one night, that was a good segment there. But overall, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I feel the Usos are going to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and they're not going to break up them or whatever, but the Usos are going to retain, and I could possibly see the Street Profits moving to Monday Night Raw in the upcoming draft.
Fair enough. They are former Raw Tag Team Champions. Shout out, of course, to the other brothers of the Four Horsemen of the NoDQGalaxy Predictions panel, Mark, the Griff Reviews, and, of course, in the chat, Jeffrey Chadwick. He says, I'm here but remotely. Hey, NoDQGalaxy. Hey, Noah and Chris. I have the Usos retaining against the Street Profits. I feel like you had to be a fool and literally bet your house to think the Usos would drop these dimes. God, they need to get rid of these towels, though. But anyway, these dimes to the Street Profits. But I digress. Either way, yeah, this definitely should be a very fun match. The Usos always deliver, and if nothing else, we'll see what sort of hang time and airtime Montez Ford gets. Man, some people could challenge him on that, though, in other companies, too. Just saying. And again, let's keep moving forward. So let's go ahead and... Oy, kawaii. All right. Seriously. Why? Just why? 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 Liv Morgan versus Carmella. Again. How long has this been going on now? Before Money in the Bank, I believe. And the only difference here right now is Carmella has a partner in what was formerly Destiny's Child, recreation, Sasha Banks' entourage, Selena Vega. It was because of Selena Vega, of course, as we saw literally this match to a degree a few weeks ago, that Liv Morgan now, she walks and rolls alone. Nobody's with her. Yet, did I not see one week Toni Storm was with Liv Morgan, or am I just blind? That being said, we saw Friday night, Selena Vega, Liv Morgan. They faced her one-on-one. Selena Vega got the better of Liv Morgan because of Carmella. WWE logic would dictate that usually the person that loses before the pay-per-view, even in a match like this, is going to win at the pay-per-view. It wouldn't surprise me if they finally put Toni Storm out there since she's not smooching with Dolph Ziggler. That being said, in the immortal words of Aaron Riff, I have little to no interest in this match. I cannot care less about this match. I'm sorry. But in my opinion, I feel Liv Morgan is the sentimental favorite that needs to get the win here one way or another. Whether she has a partner come during it on her aid or afterwards. I feel Liv Morgan needs it. So I'm going with her. Chris, your thoughts on this never-ending story?
Well, I'm keeping it short and sweet. I'm going to also agree. I do have Liv Morgan picking up the win here tomorrow night because she needs that big push, and she deserves it. She's been there. She's been on the sidelines. She almost had it at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, but she never got that briefcase, and she should have won it. She should have got it. She got robbed out of it. But I personally believe this is Liv Morgan's time. We're going to possibly get shenanigans from Carmella, and maybe Toni Storm will come in and possibly attack Carmella. And then that will give more momentum to Liv Morgan in the process. So I personally believe this is Liv Morgan's time. And you got to put a champion on Liv Morgan down the road.
I feel she definitely deserves it. People want her to win Money in the Bank. We saw how that fell out, but I digress. Jeff also says, and I quote, Caramello is not going to win this one. I'm allergic to caramel anyways. Live for the win. Well, then I guess he doesn't enjoy Rolos. I enjoy those personally. But sorry, going off topic. Then again, Rolos sounds more interesting and more delicious than this match, even looking at it. Liv Morgan deserves the win. Liv Morgan deserves better. Liv Morgan deserves more. And that's really all I got to say about that. That being said, hello to Ashley Brown, by the way, who gave me an update on Mark, of course, current assignment. Just kidding. He's just handling other matters. I'm glad to know that both Ashley and Mark are doing well. Great friends, of course, in pro wrestling. All right, so moving on from that brouhaha shenanigan filler, just put two women on cuz. Let's see if this match will give us anything different. Because it looks like Alexa Bliss is ready to play. But is she going to play seriously, or are we going to get more of the superstitious nonsense again? And will it come down to a dull interference in the end? Once again, it is that time as the Queen, Charlotte Flair, defends her Raw Women's Championship, the 12th one, I believe, against Little Miss Alexa Bliss in her hometown. Okay, so let's think about this. We have not seen a standard, normal Alexa Bliss match since who knows when. Every match has involved some sort of psychological, supernatural brouhaha. But Charlotte Flair has been trying to bring back that Bliss that we all know that can go in the ring, that was a former champion, and take no zero F's attitude. Will we see it here, or will simply Alexa Bliss be playing with the Queen and fall to defeat? And also, does the whole idea of hometown curse fall into play here? When you look at the statistics of hometown wins, it's not very strong. But again, also, this is right before the draft. So, with the fact they're going to clearly have Charlotte Flair surpass her father's 16 record before any man, do we flip-flop the Raw title again that she just won back at SummerSlam in a triple threat against Nikki Ash, I hate that name, and Rhea Ripley? Or do we basically send Alexa Bliss on her way to the Blue Brand, where she was a former SmackDown Women's Champion? Chris, I'll start with you on this one. Your thoughts on this match. What do you expect? Does Charlotte keep the gold or lose it again and then gets it back maybe the next week or two?
Well, this is going to be, I'm going to tell you, I'm not really interested in this Charlotte Miss Bliss storyline. I'm not really interested because of, I heard like on Monday when they did the segment, people were leaving during this segment, and that was like, okay, why were people leaving during the Charlotte and Miss Bliss segment? Because I personally believe no one cares about this. I personally believe, yeah, WWE, they keep on relying Charlotte Flair to get championships, and you put Charlotte with the championship all the time, and it's starting to get boring, kind of a way that Charlotte is always with that title. I don't want to see like the same old thing. You gotta keep. You have stars that are on the sideline, and they need to get the bigger pushes and everything else except for Charlotte. But we know Charlotte, she's a Flair. So that's possibly why. And you know, the track record with hometown.
Oh, yeah.
It's not good in WWE's terms. But if this was an AEW pay-per-view, the track record, 10 for 10. Perfect 10. You win in your hometown. Look what Jon Moxley, look what all these other superstars, they win in their hometown. And I did hear about, with this pay-per-view, we might not see any title changes. So I'm going to stick with the safe route. I think Charlotte Flair is going to retain the Raw Women's Championship and just keep on going and going. But I do believe her next challenger is going to be Shayna Baszler.
That is what I was waiting to either hear from you or I was going to say myself. It finally feels like they're going to push Shayna Baszler maybe forward past this Nia Jax tag team nonsense as she obliterated Nia Jax, kayfabe-wise, though she could legitimately want to if she wanted to. Kind of wish she did, off screen. And it looks like she's injured. So now maybe we'll finally get that Shayna Baszler that is long overdue the whole freaking championship WWE. Am I being optimistic? Maybe. Jeffrey Chadwick alludes that Bliss don't want to set off your machine like last night. Thank you, sir. Will the phone Flair? I really want to see what this version of Bliss will do with the title. Well, we saw how Bray Rogers did with the title, and I will admit it was fun, but can Bliss pull off the same thing? Or will she simply use it as a decoration for her doll Tilly? Only time will tell. That being said, I feel like that Charlotte Flair has to retain here, okay? We've already degraded the Raw Women's Championship enough of how much you flipped it more than a pancake at a freaking breakfast restaurant. Go enjoy IHOP, folks. Good stuff. That being said, I got Charlotte Flair retained. There's not much more I need to say. I was a little indifferent on this coming up to this point, but thinking about the draft, thinking about this title, thinking about it's freaking Charlotte Flair, it just doesn't make sense to take the title off her. And nobody wants to see once again, Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch, the two-woman show that literally puts the entire women's division across the WWE in catering. But I digress. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about something that might be a bit more interesting, especially since No More Words is back. But what the hell is Sheamus doing here? Are you cold? Are you embarrassed? Are you being sneaky? What the hell am I looking at? Anyway, going off graphic aside, it's a triple threat now for the United States Championship as Damian Priest defends the gold against Jeff Hardy and Sheamus, former champion. This match feels a little weird to me because, first off, we literally just saw Jeff Hardy at the lowest point of his career, his own words, involved in the 24/7 title picture. I could rant like that all night, but I'm not going to here. And now we have Sheamus, the former champion, where he and Priest had a great match at SummerSlam. Again, this just happened at SummerSlam, the previous pay-per-view, where Damian Priest finally claimed his first gold on the main roster. And now we wonder, will his name live forever as far as the United States Championship goes? Do I feel at this point that Damian Priest has had enough of a reign with the U.S. title? Absolutely not. Do I feel the U.S. title has enough opponents in its division at this point to challenge Damian Priest? No, they haven't really built anything. This truly feels like a filler match. Whenever it comes to a triple threat, I always go by this philosophy. You have a triple threat for two reasons. You have a buffer to protect someone, and you have a fall guy. That being said, Jeff Hardy was literally just in the 24/7 title picture. They just thrusted him in here because he beat Sheamus for whatever reason. And Sheamus, of course, apparently is cashing in his automatic rematch clause because that's the way things in WWE works. There's no reason, in my opinion, that Damian Priest should lose this title. I know he's got good morale backstage with the locker room. I feel he deserves it. He still is in the genesis of his WWE career. Let's see what he can do with this title. Maybe he can finally bring back the open challenge, make the U.S. title great again. Yes, I went there. But I believe that Damian Priest will retain one way or another. Chris, your thoughts on this match?
My thoughts is I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. You have a buffer and you have someone that's going to take the fall. I personally believe the buffer is going to be Jeff Hardy because they're going to be protecting Jeff Hardy at all costs. And I do possibly believe they are going to protect him because he might want to have a one-on-one match with Damian Priest down the road. And also, who's going to take the fall in this match is Sheamus is going to take the fall in this match. And possibly you write Sheamus off of Raw and you send Sheamus to Friday Night SmackDown in the upcoming WWE draft. Mm-hmm. So I personally believe it's not time for Damian Priest to drop the United States Championship at this pay-per-view. It's not going to happen. He just won it at SummerSlam. And I'm happy for Damian Priest. I'm a huge Damian Priest fan now. I love the guy. He's amazing. He's possibly going to be a role model to look up to for next generations to come. Everybody's going to be talking about Damian Priest, and I'm going to tell them the reason you're talking about Damian Priest is that his name lives forever.
Dun, 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 dun. Glad he still has that theme too for the time being. Jeff says, I'm looking forward to this match, as we should be. I would love to see Hardy with one more title run, but Priest is not right now losing this title. I don't see him losing tomorrow. Priest retains. Again, it's too soon. All right, you gave Bianca Belair 100 days with the SmackDown Women's Championship. At least give Damian Priest that. Let's see what he can do during the fall season. And again, I feel that he deserves it and definitely can bring a new outlook to this mid-card division, because that's what the United States title is, sad to say, to as champion. So, again, I hope it does continue. But speaking of Bianca Belair and 100 days, let's go right into our next match, because someone might crack that whip, but also I believe we might also get a kendo stick, because correct me if I'm mistaken, I believe this might be also an Extreme Rules match, but according to the graphic, they didn't put it up like that. So, details to come. But regardless, the man, Becky Lynch in her first real match since coming back from SummerSlam. I do not count that 27-second spot against the former champion Bianca Belair. Now, let's just get down to brass tacks, shall we? A lot of people did not like the way they treated Bianca Belair at SummerSlam. They thought they literally Brock Lesnar'd her like Kofi Kingston. So, hey, it was longer than 8 seconds, I will say that. But the thing is, according to Bianca Belair, she was happy at the after party. She was glad that they did that. And it was Becky Lynch that wanted to do this because Becky Lynch wanted to come back as a heel. I think it's impossible to boo the man, though, but they sure as hell is trying, with Becky being this all-out pompous identity of what she was fighting against in the first place. So now we got Bianca Belair challenging for the SmackDown Women's Championship before the draft, and we're going to see what Becky Lynch can bring, more so for this new character identity. That's what the real story of this match is here. But it's like you alluded to earlier. We already have the Street Profits losing, okay? And Montez Ford is married to Bianca Belair, or engaged, or however the hell that stuff works. I don't know. I've been single my whole life. Story of my life. That being said, I feel that Bianca Belair, of course, is going to stay over her husband. I feel she's on a one-way trip to Monday Night Raw. Let's see what Becky can do. Maybe she can redefine the SmackDown Women's division. I got Becky retaining. Should be a good match, but honestly, I'm not sure what to expect here. And these are two of the most promising female athletes, wrestlers in the WWE. But I got the man staying with the gold in the end. Chris, your thoughts on this match?
My thoughts is I'm looking forward to this match tomorrow night. Becky, Bianca, these two are going to bring out the best in each other. And I was on the Any Brand Wrestling group chat.
Shout out to ABW.
ABW, and they sent me a screenshot of what Becky Lynch said on Twitter, and I quote, 26 seconds, Sunday won't be any different. And Bianca Belair says on Twitter, you pride yourself on 26 seconds, but I heard that's how long Seth took.
Oh!
That's what, and when I saw that, I say, oh my God. But hey, you have to get one up on the other and build this match up even more. But yeah, everybody, they were upset at SummerSlam that this match only took 26 seconds. And personally, I was still shocked that Becky Lynch returned, and she was expected to return. We've been hearing it. And now Becky's back. She is out for hurting on the women's division. And it's kind of good that Becky, she left as a champion and she returned as a champion. So, and this is her first real title defense. I'm going to be honest with you. Bianca, she's going to be the chaser for that women's title and continue being the chaser until she grabs the champion. Bianca, she's not going to win here. And they're going to do hot potato with the champion. No. Get rid of the hot potato stuff. It is boring that they have to keep hot potatoing on stuff. But Becky is winning here, and she's going to retain the champion, and she's big-time Bex. And I do possibly going to give you a spoiler on the draft. I could see Becky and Charlotte swapping champions, and you have Becky on Raw, have Charlotte on SmackDown, because USA executives, they are upset with Fox that they got both Brock and Becky on their show. And I personally believe you could send Becky over to Raw and make USA be happy with it.
Well, again, it's like, okay, which one's the bigger contract? Clearly it's Fox. Which one's been the longer contract? USA. But right now, everybody seems to be PO'd in some way against Vince McMahon. And why we really don't believe in this whole battle of the networks or battle of the brands. Some people want the brand split to end. I do get what you're saying. I feel like you had too much on one show. That was the story of Monday Night Raw for the longest time. It's like, again, SmackDown's become the A show. Raw's become the B show. With Big E now, no pun intended, as the WWE champion, maybe they can try and even it out because Big E's going to try and make Raw the best it possibly can be. But we'll have to wait and see. Jeffrey says, I know Becky will be getting whipped. Unfortunately, I see Bianca going down to the man tomorrow. Lynch retains. Again, she just came back. And I do like the fact you did bring up the point that Becky relinquished the Raw Women's Championship on Monday Night Raw. So her going over to Monday Night Raw, once again, just being given the championship, it might be like a days ago if it's just a title swap. But it basically be like, okay, she's the reset of the division. Maybe she finally gives the title to Shayna Baszler that she wanted to do in the first place. But the fact that she's now a heel and Shayna technically is a heel, I don't think that contrast would work either. So again, like a lot of this show, WWE has truly booked themselves into a corner. But we'll have to see what the fallout will be following all these matches. Speaking of fallout, you gotta wonder what the fallout will be for the Prince, Finn Balor, as he now brought out his demon. But will the demon be slain? Will the Tribal Chief continue to be acknowledged and retained? Or will something happen where literally someone's name will live in infamy? Because the only match that literally is Extreme Rules is literally the Universal Championship, where the head of the table, Roman Reigns, defends the gold against the demon, Finn Balor. Okay, let's be honest here. This show literally is a one-show pay-per-view. It's the only show that literally relates to the pay-per-view name. It's the one match with the longest build, and it's the one match that's going to probably take the longest amount of time, and the one match people are probably the most interested in because, again, it's the demon. When it comes to Roman Reigns matches, you don't look at the result, you look at the story. You've seen how this has built with Finn Balor literally facing Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Normal, losing. Then he brings out the demon at Madison Square Garden to try and confront the Tribal Chief. But there's also another interlocking storyline here where Paul Heyman's allegiance stands. And is that also wearing on Roman Reigns' mind? We've seen it over the last few weeks. Like you alluded to with Brock and Becky on SmackDown. Brock Lesnar, according to the graphics, maybe it's already spoiler alert, will challenge the head of the table at Crown Jewel in Country Redacted for the Universal Championship at the time of writing. That being said, let's go ahead and first look at this match. It's the Demon. Last time the Demon was involved in main roster WWE, I believe, was WrestleMania 35, and he beat Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Championship. Before that, the only time the Demon has ever lost, to my knowledge, is to Samoa Joe back in NXT, the old NXT. And now we got the Demon back here facing Roman Reigns. It's going to be an interesting fight. I feel like everybody in the Bloodline is going to be involved. Would I see Brock Lesnar getting involved here, or maybe sending a message afterwards? Do I see Paul Heyman being rattled, maybe that being on his mind? Does that distract Roman Reigns somehow? There's a lot of interlocking storytelling elements here. And that's what I'm going to give you as a prelude to give me your insights to this match and your thoughts. Because, Chris, I'm leaving this to you. What's your thoughts on the main event? Roman Reigns, Tribal Chief, defending the title against the Demon.
Well, you brought up, Finn Balor as the Demon. He fought Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 35. Then you totally forgot about Super Showdown, where Finn Balor defended the Intercontinental Championship against Andrade in Saudi Arabia back in 2019. You totally forgot about that.
Well, that's fair. I got reasons for that, but thank you.
You're welcome, pal. So this is going to be a good match. I'm glad that the Demon is back. With Finn Balor, if a rivalry, a storyline is personal, you bring out that inner side of you, the dark side. He brought the Demon out of him. And I'm glad this is personal with Roman and the Demon. And personally, this is the second former Shield member that Finn Balor will be as the Demon going to fight for the Universal Champion. The first time around, he beat Seth Rollins for the first ever Universal Championship match at SummerSlam in 2016.
Very good callback.
And look at it, 2021, the Demon Finn Balor takes on Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. And I know what everybody's going to say. Oh, is the Demon going to shock the war? Is he going to shock the WWE Universe and finally end the longest reigning Universal Champion, the head of the table, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns? This is where, Finn Balor as the Demon, you can go all out for. But in realistics, and I went with my heart at SummerSlam when I chose John Cena. And I was upset about it. I was shocked. I was upset. But I learned my lesson. And now with Brock Lesnar being back, you know how I hate Brock Lesnar, but we could talk about that privately. I'm going to tell you, we are going to still acknowledge Roman Reigns at the head of the table as the Tribal Chief, and everybody in the whole state of the United States, Canada, all over the world, better acknowledge Roman Reigns as the head of the table, because Roman Reigns, he's going to have a busy 3 months ahead of him. You have tomorrow night against the Demon Finn Balor. You have Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia against Brock Lesnar. Then we return back to the United States of America for a pay-per-view at Survivor Series in the Barclays Center against the new WWE champion, Big E. He's going to have a busy 3 months ahead of him, and we're going to still acknowledge Roman Reigns as the head of the table and the Tribal Chief, and Roman Reigns will remain Universal Champion all the way to WrestleMania 38 in Dallas. Acknowledge Roman Reigns.
Believe that. We the ones represent the bloodline. Well said, Chris. Jeffrey Chadwick says, Balor has a tough task in his hands. Demon will take his second loss Sunday. Reigns will still be the head of the table and still be the Universal Champion. Well, again, it's like what I alluded to. But in Roman Reigns matches, you don't really figure out the result. You think about the story, because there truly is nobody right now that feels like, especially this pay-per-view, that can take it off Roman Reigns. Nobody in the roster, it seems, feels like they can take it off Roman Reigns. It does feel like the end game, if applicable, will be at WrestleMania 39 if they pull it off. And again, right now, looking good. Be The Rock versus Roman, and that could be the one time that Roman literally loses the title. Because, yes, the Brock Lesnar storyline is very intriguing, thinking about where Paul Heyman's allegiance stands. But do you want the Universal Championship once again held hostage by Brock Lesnar? And that could very well happen at Country Redacted. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. As far as, that's what I do. As far as this match, though, I'm more interested in what happens afterwards. So he beats Finn Balor already for the Universal Championship. Then he beats the Demon for the Universal Championship. What does Finn Balor become? Does Finn Balor lose himself to darkness? Does Finn Balor fade away and classify himself as obsolete? Obsolete! I digress. Call back for you folks. Because, again, he's coming back from NXT before it became NXT 2.0. And, he's in the main event picture. I almost could see him literally just going to Monday Night Raw at this point, because you already faced Roman. You got no reason to be on SmackDown. If you lost to the Tribal Chief twice, and Big E versus Finn Balor could be a very interesting program. Again, Big E gives a whole new outlook towards who could challenge for the WWE Championship. And again, with the upcoming draft, I feel that the possibilities are more limitless, to say the least. Maybe I'm referring to one person, at least. On Monday Night Raw for their top champion, then SmackDown right now for their top champion. Like you said, Roman Reigns will be held hostage in a Brock Lesnar storyline going up through country redacted. And then we'll see what awaits afterwards. But I digress. That being said, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind Roman Reigns is retaining. Believe that. And literally, Chris, that's the entire Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Talk about, But, okay, I guess it is what it is. Part of the monthly pay-per-view model. Go for it.
Before we wrap things up here, can we talk about maybe do we have any other matches that we could maybe see tomorrow night?
That's what we usually that's what we usually try and think about. I mean, let's think about what's been happening lately on Raw and SmackDown. Again, I called a while back. I was hoping maybe for a chairs match between Seth freaking Rollins and the Rated R superstar Edge. But, of course, it's not happening. But if you look at the poster, who's on the graphic? Seth Rollins. Will we hear from Seth Rollins at all tonight? Will he confront Roman Reigns maybe afterwards, like he did back at Extreme Rules 2016? How's that a callback for you? Extreme Rules 2016, where Roman Reigns defended the WWE Championship successfully in an Extreme Rules match against AJ Styles and the Club, as they were once known. To sweep me on that, if you want to. Or split it from back creative, depending on how you look at it. Other matches that you can think about as well, with the whole way that the women tag team champions have happened now, with Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash now the tag champs, with Natalya and Tamina maybe cashing the rematch clause. Could that end up on the kickoff? With John Morrison and Miz finally going their separate ways, Miz and Morrison, hey, no more. Could there be some fall between those two at some point that picks up on here? Does the Miz, boast himself because he's back in his home state, Ohio, and maybe John Morrison comes out and maybe attacks him? Will we see the 24/7 title go extreme and possibly be taken over backstage in a dumpster? As far as what else could be added here, there isn't a whole lot. If there was one more thing I could have seen added, would be the Intercontinental Championship. You would think they would have done something with Shinsuke Nakamura and Apollo Crews. Not a Nigerian drum match, though. But I feel like this thing's not over between those two. And then, of course, you've had Kevin Owens feuding with Happy Corbin. What a weird character change. And, of course, you've had Logan Paul involved in that, too. Yeesh. So it does make me wonder what they're going to announce for the kickoff, because I feel like they're going to at least announce one more match, because this is the way WWE things work. Announce things the day before. Don't have Cesaro doing anything. You don't have Sami Zayn doing anything. You don't have Drew McIntyre doing anything. It feels weird, to say the least. But those are just some of my outlooks towards what could be added, who I'm surprised is not on this card. So before we go into another subtopic that we talked about in our pre-show, give me your thoughts, what you think should be added, could be added, or who you want to see maybe perform on this show.
Well, we got 6 matches. I could see what did my buddy Jeff Travick, you're the best.
There you go. Boom. SmackDown versus Raw. See who takes the gold. That doesn't make any sense. Shotzi and Nox, I hate they took away part of their names each. They literally beat Tamina and Natalya, and what? Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley beat Tamina and Natalya before them? They got the short of the stick.
So I know. So I could see maybe the women's tag team champions. I would do a triple threat women's tag team title match with the new champs, Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley. And you can do Natalya and Tamina and Shotzi and Nox tomorrow night. That will be an insane match. But if that match does happen, their champs are going to definitely retain. I can see Kevin Owens and Happy Corbin. Why is he happy? I love when he was sad.
He got money. Kayfabe. Hey, look at it this way, Chris. He's got money, but he's not as rich as Cameron Grimes, the $1 million champion, for all we know.
The moon.
Exactly. Oh, man, it's pretty funny when you think about. But continue.
But I could see Kevin Owens and Happy Corbin going after each other tomorrow.
Oh, how do we forget about these two? They were the hottest act before they became champions. What about Rated RK Bro?
Oh my gosh, RK Bro, they are not even on the card. I'm shocked because Bobby Lashley and MVP are they still scheduled to face RK Bro for the Raw Tag Team Champions even before MVP got injured?
I think that was the original game plan because they did win that gauntlet.
And then now look at it. RK Bro is not on the card. Possibly we might have a segment with those two tomorrow night. That is like shocking to me that RK Bro is not on this card. AJ Styles and Moss, they are not even on the card. But I could see AJ Styles and Moss getting split up in the WWE draft.
Yeah, I see that too. Again, it's a weird time.
Miz and Morrison, that's not going to happen because the Miz, he's doing ballroom dancing on Dancing with the Stars right now. So he's going to be doing that. But when the Miz gets eliminated from Dancing with the Stars, he will come back to WWE and pick up where he and Morrison left off on. If Nia Jax didn't get injured, I would possibly see a rematch with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax.
Yep.
That's
probably a longer term thing to come, though. And as we alluded to on the Meltdown Roundtable, go follow Meltdown, folks. Great page, 316. Big E, the new WWE champion, not involved on this show either. You would have thought they would have made Bobby Lashley versus Big E.
So I know, and then possibly they're saving Big E and Bobby Lashley for Crown Jewel. At Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia.
I think that about covers everything as far as major people goes.
And then with Seth Rollins and Edge, I personally believe they're going to have a match at Crown Jewel. And I feel the stipulation is going to be we're going to get an ambulance match with those two.
Ambulance!
And this is also another guy that is not on the card. And this was set to happen. We were supposed to get Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre at Extreme Rules. Drew McIntyre, he's sitting on the shelf where's he been at?
Probably in catering with Jinder Mahal right now. 3MB reunited. Again, it's a weird time.
Personally, those two could have continued their rivalry and maybe had Crown Jewel be the final match where those two be in the Punjabi prison match.
Oh, Lord. I don't know if we want to see that structure again, let alone hear the word structure said for that structure because it's such a structure 63 times. Just saying.
But I'm going to tell you, with Drew McIntyre not being on a card, it's a weird time. And then knowing the WWE draft, I have a gut feeling the first pick of SmackDown. Yeah, the first pick is going to be, we already know who's the first pick is going to be, Roman Reigns.
I'd be shocked if he wasn't.
We know that. And I could bet everybody's dollar that Friday Night SmackDown is going to become Claymore Country. Drew McIntyre is going over to SmackDown in the WWE draft.
Well, since we started talking about the WWE draft, why don't we go ahead and take a look at this draft and see what sort of outlook it might bring? Because, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. The WWE, it's time to shake things up again. The WWE draft returns October 1st, starting on SmackDown on Fox, and continues October 4th on Monday Night Raw on the USA Network, where absolutely anybody could be shifted between the two shows. But with the whole Wild Invitational, I almost wonder, how much will this actually matter? Will this make a difference? Only time will tell. That being said, Chris, you've already alluded to some thoughts of who we might see being swapped. And as Jeff asked, let's go ahead and look at NXT first. Because speaking of drafts, Who from NXT do you see coming up, and where will they go? What rivalry can you see happen with this call-up? Well, for those that have been following Twitter, like I have to a degree through my family, shout out to ATW. Stay tuned for another ATW view. Casey is a die-hard Dakota Kai fan and feels that she has been shafted being on dark matches. If there's one thing I know, dark matches give you a good highlight of who Vince is watching and who you might see, even in catering, 98% of the time, or main event, if people still watch that nonsense. Anyway, might be part of the Raw and SmackDown scene, even if they're just being squashed. I feel Dakota Kai is one of them. I've heard Dakota Kai and Aaliyah have been involved in Dark Shield matches. They've literally moved Karrion Kross to main event. I can't believe that. I'm shocked by that. But the question here is, who do I see coming up and where will they go? Well, I've already said Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai and Aaliyah, I see them being put in as an impromptu women's tag team. I look at the women's tag team sheens across both shows, and it feels like that SmackDown literally has only one team to their name. So I see Dakota Kai and Aaliyah going there and probably feuding with Tegan and Nox because, again, NXT. As far as the men, though, that's where you get interesting because you look at the scene right now. The first person that comes to mind that I could see move was the guy that lost on the premiere of NXT 2.0 2 times in the same night. I'm, of course, talking about the former $1 Million champion, L.A. Knight. He's got the gift of gab. He's got the look. I'm sure Vince can turn him into a real propaganda progressive mouthpiece. And I could definitely see him going to looking at the draft, thinking about who he could feud with. I see him going to Monday Night Raw because on Raw, it's the more entertainment side versus the wrestling side. And LA Knight, I feel, will definitely be used more for his talking than his in-ring capability. As far as who he feuds with, I'm just going to go right into it. Damian Priest, U.S. title. So that's one thought for me. Okay, Chris, you're on the bubble. Pick somebody and come up with a rivalry of your own.
Well, I also agree that Dakota Kai is going to possibly get drafted to have a Raw or SmackDown. I'm going to say it. I'm going to pick, if I have to pick a women's superstar, I'm going to have to go for Raquel Gonzalez.
She's the NXT Women's Champion.
I understand she's the NXT Women's Champion, but I feel it's Raquel Gonzalez's time that she gets moved. She gets done with the NXT 2.0 stuff because with the NXT 2.0, they're going to get some of the older guys and gals and move them up to the main roster and start freshening things up with NXT 2.0. And that's why I say Raquel Gonzalez is going to get moved, possibly going to drop the NXT Women's Championship this Tuesday to Frankie Monet. I could see that happening and have Raquel go to the main roster. And if I have to pick a rivalry and a brand, I would see Raquel Gonzalez going to Friday Night SmackDown and feuding with Becky Lynch.
She's a champion. They've never faced her one-on-one.
And if I got to pick a man who I can see going to NXT 2.0, not from going over to Raw or SmackDown, I'm going to say it. I'm really intrigued with this superstar. And I feel he deserves to be on the main roster. I'm going to go with Pete Dunne.
Whoa, Pete Dunne. Oh, that's a guy that's no nonsense. I don't know. Vince is known to do stupid stuff, but I would not mind seeing Pete Dunne confront, I don't know, Big E or Roman Reigns. That would be actually quite a match.
And if I have to pick a rivalry with Pete Dunne on either Raw or SmackDown, I could see Pete Dunne feuding with King Nakamura.
It'd be a good strong style match. And yeah, I don't feel like they would thrust Pete Dunne into the main title scene to just be something longer term. But I like that a lot because, again, Pete Dunne has yet to have a championship since dropping the NXT UK championship that you see in my background right there. the original. All right, so going off your details here, I do also want to add that 205 Live, which basically no longer is that, now involves women actions. Ember Moon is now on that. She's been facing the likes of Cora Jade. We see them now trying to recreate the Allure, the beautiful people in Toxic Affliction with a brunette Mandy Rose and the former Priscilla Kelly and Elena Black as a trio. We'll see how far this Absolution crew goes. That Rick Steiner guy, yes, I call him that because, damn it, you respect the Steiner name. Holla if you hear me. In my opinion, he's the next NXT champion, and it feels like I'm just waiting for Vince's first form of a takeover to make him the title holder. I hate to say it, but I feel like Tommaso Ciampa is a transitional champion, and he will be the last of the guard to hold the original gold championship that you could see behind me if my chair turned. That being said, thinking about other superstars of NXT, the Robert Stone blend in general, Jessica Maya and Frankie Monet. If Raquel retains the gold, I could see those two being pushed up with Robert Stone as a gimmick act. And honestly, they could become a feud with either the women tag team titles, or maybe they actually will try and push Frankie Monet to go after Charlotte Flair. I think Frankie Monet and Charlotte Flair will be a very interesting contest because both these women are very high of themselves and also what they bring to the ring. Of course, Taya Valkyrie, La Vera Loca, of course, now known as Frankie Monet being one of the longest reigning Impact Knockout champions. Just saying. But let's go ahead and think about tag teams, because we talk about single men, we talk about single women. What about the tag team scene? You got a thought?
I have a good tag team. If I have to pick any NXT tag team that I could see going to Raw or SmackDown, I already have a good tag team. And
Who is it?
And I think, Noah, you're going to be happy with this one because I was teasing with you and getting on your nerves about, hey, with what happened at WrestleMania during WrestleMania weekend, what happened on NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day.
I know where you're going.
And I'm going to finally say it to you. It's time for some grizzled young veterans.
He's got a hell of a voice and a hell of a presence, and I definitely see Vince using the shoes up gimmick on Monday Night Raw and seeing how, they pick up history and how Randy Orton clashes with the grizzled young veterans. Sounds extremely entertaining to me. Damn it, why are they not been the freaking tag team champions in NXT? And Jeff apparently agrees with both of us, the grizzled young veterans to Monday Night Raw. Because again, you see all these vignettes now of these up-and-coming superstar ideas, including the Chase University or Academy. Sounds like a Matt Striker ripoff. And the freaking Soprano Man coming to NXT. There's a lot of change coming at NXT 2.0 as they're trying to literally build Vince's vision from the ground up, whether we like it or not. It's a different contrast, and everybody likes the same flavor of ice cream. But yeah, I definitely could see old school NXT talent involved in the draft to be moved to the other brands. Lord help my friend Casey's blood pressure for Dakota Kai's sake. And I'm intrigued. I am intrigued with the draft, and I definitely will be looking at it too. That being said, folks, that's really all we got to say about Unextreme Rules and the draft. You can tell which one we're more excited and optimistic for. So let us know your thoughts and comments for everything ahead in WWE down below. What you like, dislike, hope happens, what made you once a fan, why you still a fan, why you a lapsed fan, etc. We love to hear from you, but we hope you enjoyed the conversation too. And again, your opinions matter. Join the Prediction League as well. Chris, always a pleasure, my friend. I think, honestly, we need to get the 4 horsemen of the NoDQGalaxy together and create maybe our own type of review. I think we can do it. But we'll talk more about that later on. But in the meantime, is there anything you want to plug, promote, and where can people connect with you?
Well, I want to thank Noah, and you're right. We have to get the 4 horsemen back doing these things. We can maybe do a review show one day. I know during SummerSlam weekend, I sent in the group chat, we should all do what Jeff Meacham does, is have a watch along if all of you guys are down with it. We could do maybe whatever matches they are, like how many matches. We could get certain amount of people, and whatever match you want, that's the match you're going to be on for the watch along. If everybody's down for it, I would.
Sounds like an open mic night. Sounds like fun.
We should do a watch along. We should definitely do one of that. We definitely got to do this again. I hope I could get to be on with Aaron Riff and all the rest of the gang one day. This has been a pleasure. Where you guys can find me at is on Facebook, Christopher Rotz. My Insta is crotz 2.0. My Snapchat is C_Rotz17. My Twitter is CRotz24. My TikTok is Rotz_2423. I'm going to tell you, it's been a pleasure. Everybody come join the NoDQ Predictions Galaxy League, where we are here to engage with one another and interact with one another. So if you have any opinions or thoughts, just hit one of us up and we'll be nicely to talk to you guys and interact with you guys. So thank you for a great night, and let's enjoy tomorrow night and enjoy the WWE draft.
Simple as that. Well said, my brother. Again, good luck to you and good luck to everybody in the NoDQ Galaxy League. Because again, folks, I do this for the entire year across all things WWE. And in case you're wondering, do I really keep score? Let me show you something, if I can. There you go. You are currently looking at the top 20 of the NoDQ Galaxy, including this gentleman right here in third place. Well done, sir. So again, folks, your opinions matter. Come join the fun. Take on your friends, make new rivals. Let's see who could win it all in the end. As literally, as you can see, the NoDQ Galaxy challenges members of the team as well, because some members of the team like to try and remind you why we are Team NoDQ, but you are the Galaxy, yet we all share this conglomerate interactive universe together. And that's really what matters in the end as I bring up the team leaderboard, and Big Baller G is outscoring each and every single person in the NoDQ universe. So bring your predictions and bring your best knowledge and see who could take it all in the very end. I'll even get you a NoDQ shirt.
Before we go off, Big Baller G, congratulations on getting married. I hope you and your wife has amazing life with one another, and you deserve it.
Yeah, shout out to Big Baller. Lifelong member of Team NoDQ. Great, wholesome, hearty person. Go follow his YouTube channel, all his social media, and of course, follow his podcast platform, The Gridiron Grapple. That was for you, brother. That being said, Chris, thank you again, man. Always appreciate you, brother. We definitely need to brainstorm more stuff with the Galaxy panel. Maybe try and interview people who want to be part of the panels going forward too. Because folks, I do this each and every WWE pay-per-view and takeover and AEW too. Why don't you join the fun? Your opinions matter too. And you don't have to be on camera if you want. I just want to hear your voice, lend your thoughts. I know people are camera shy. As an introvert, I mean, heck, I never thought I'd be doing this type of stuff. But doing this and encouraging others and engaging with others, that's the greatest fun of being a professional wrestling fan. Before I give my thoughts, I do want to just highlight one thing. Jeff Walter says, and I quote, he'd rather stay home. And I think Vince could not handle the professional wrestler Walter is, because he is absolutely no nonsense, for he cares and only works for the sport, for the mat is sacred, which just makes me wonder when he's going to show up next time in NXT UK. But I digress. Anyway, thank you, Chris. And thank you, Jeff, for all your thoughts, too, tonight. People, you want to know more about me? Know this. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. So follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and right here on YouTube at NFoster1916 for all things wrestling. And shout out to, of course, my ATW family on Twitter. We will be back with another ATW View discussing so many things, WWE, AEW, and more Monday night. So stay tuned for more on that. If you are a fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling, you will shortly find my simple takes on day 2 block action of A and B shortly coming up as well ahead of day 3 tomorrow. And of course, stay tuned to NoDQ.com as we will be doing the official NoDQ, Team NoDQ predictions panel in less than 30 minutes. I said 30, not 3 minutes. Just want to put that out there. I remember that. Again, if you want to be part of the fun, your opinions matter too. So come join the NoDQGalaxy Predictions League. The link will be in the description down below, and we'll go live after the Team NoDQ panel is officially finished. And stay tuned for my continued coverage of AEW content as well, with weekly reviews of AEW Rampage on the Teddy Turnbuckle Network with the lovely Cindy G going forward Friday nights. I will also be a part of the Jeff Meacham Network for Bound for Glory coming up as well, and the next NWA special too. So again, folks, all things wrestling, I just love and enjoy it the best way I can too. As always, I like to close. There are no winners, there are no losers, there are no bears. They're just fans with their opinions for this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another and respect each other. And just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. It's as simple as that. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell so the next video goes live on this channel or on demand. Hit the subscribe button. Help me keep growing this channel. Shout out to all 216 of you that's with me on this fun YouTuber creators journey. It's not letting up anytime soon, although you might see a new background soon because I have been a hell of a busy this past month. For the third place person in the NoDQGalaxy and great all-around friend and wrestling fan, Christopher Rotz, and the rest of the members of the Four Horsemen of the NoDQGalaxy panel, Mark the Griff Reviews and Jeff Chadwick, representing all teams of wrestling, and of course representing Meltdown 316. Oh, hell yeah. I am the Silverman Noah Foster, encouraging you as always to take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families and enjoy wrestling. There's more to it now than ever for you to be a fan, whether you've ever been or once was and lapsed out of it. And I will see you all next time right here for the NoDQGalaxy panel. Take care. Thanks for watching. Have a good night and enjoy WWE and Extreme Rules. But try and make it extreme in your own way, safely. Take care, folks.